Hello, everybody. Yeah, so unfortunately, this next weekend there aren't that many fights that are really good or important. So I've chosen only to cover one of them, which is pretty exciting on paper anyway. Yeah, so it's a fight for the WBO Super Featherweight title. And it's Jamel Herring who is defending the title against Shakur Stevenson, who is a very like promising young fighter. I don't know if I can call him a prospect, but anyway. So this fight is on Saturday, of course. As you know, Jamel Herring, who is clearly the older guy, is 35, while Stevenson is 24. Uh, Herring had his best victory so far, I guess, in his last fight in April when he beat Carl Frampton. He stopped Carl Frampton actually in 6 rounds. And I watched that fight live. Uh, yeah, or live more or less. I wasn't there, but you know what I mean. And yeah, it was very impressive how he fought in that fight. He was really had the right game plan, to counter Frampton's aggression. And really good, precise counter punching and all that. I was impressed because I know he has had his setbacks and a couple of losses, but that was some time ago now. Actually, his first loss was in 2016 to Denis Shafikov when he was stopped in 10 rounds. So it was kind of, he just took too much punishment, and in the end, the referee stopped it. And then a little later in 2017, he somewhat surprisingly lost to Darius Miller on points. So after since then, he has not lost. He's won like 7 fights so far, and he has actually defended his title 3 times. Yeah, he also beat Jonathan Okendo by disqualification, but he put him down also before that. Lamont Roach, Masayuki Ito. Yeah, so he's a very tall guy, for super featherweight, 5'10", and he's got a pretty big reach, 72 inches. He is not really regarded as a puncher, at least not until he stopped Frampton, but and he still isn't a real, knockout artist, I guess. But he can stop you if he lands enough big shots. Yeah. So he's got 23 wins, 11 knockouts, 2 losses. Yeah, he's a former Marine or soldier. He has been in Iraq before, so he's got a really special background, kind of motivation. All right, let's look at Shakur Stevenson's career and record so far. So he's 5'7". He's more of a typical super fairweight in that way. He's got also a lot smaller reach, 68 inches. But I guess he had a reputation as a puncher earlier on. But since then been fighting some really pretty tough opponents, so he hasn't scored that many knockouts. I mean, in his last 6 fights, he has scored only 2 knockouts. That's right. But he did knock out a few guys that are, decent. Alberto Guevara, Felix Carvalho. He beat Toka Khan Clary by decision, and Jeremiah Nakatila. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but anyway, he has been really pretty dominant in his performances, his victories, and there is just that problem, even he had a infamous altercation with a guy and his girlfriend. So, but to my understanding, it was his own friend that kind of instigated that. So, but anyway, I hope that he can now, yeah, keep himself on the right path. Not like get involved in more fights outside the ring, of course. So Stevenson, as I said, he can definitely punch, but so far against his, it's still early. He's still developing actually as a fighter. But so far in his toughest tests, he didn't win. He also beat the guy who just last weekend gave Emmanuel Navarrete a pretty tough test, Joet Gonzalez. So he beat him on points pretty convincingly on the scorecards anyway. Yeah. So this is gonna be a really really tough test, tough fight for both guys, I believe, because first of all, Herring is a very tough guy, very determined. He seemed to have improved, in recent years, and even though he always was kind of, talented, it's just that he didn't always win when he could have won. Anyway. So, and Stevenson, he's the younger guy, of course, like the young lion, and he seems to have enough, enough of everything, the natural skills, the power, all that, and to really at least give Herring a tough fight for sure. So it seems maybe Shakur Stevenson is so far perhaps the toughest opponent in Herring's championship reign, I would say. Yeah, definitely. Because Frampton was no longer at his best. Everybody knows that. He had already been defeated more than once. Let's just trying to see if he was stopped before that. Yeah, no, I don't think so. But he already had, some really tough fights that went the distance. Also, Donito Lanier, Leo Santa Cruz, twice, Scott Quigg. Yeah, so Frampton was simply spent, and he is so much shorter than Herring that was also a problem, I guess. He's even shorter than Stevenson by 2 inches. So yeah, you know what? I actually haven't seen much of Stevenson, I must admit, but what I know about him tells me that he is capable of winning this fight. But will he win this fight? No, I don't think so, actually, because it may be coming a little bit too early for him. And now I read today that his wife is pregnant, or fiancée, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, he is expecting a baby with her, so all that can like lead your mind away, help you lose focus in something that is so tough as boxing, But I think there is a chance that he can win, of course, but I still think Jamel Herring is very determined to keep his style, because he knows this is his last run, last leg. And if he loses, before he gets to fight someone else who is really, a big name, for instance, I don't know, Tank Davis if he still can make the weight or somebody like that. So if he loses, he will, be pretty much done, as a serious fighter. Stevenson, he will be, of course, looking to. He's always dangerous, potentially. I don't know if he still is mature enough as a fighter in here to really, take advantage of his natural abilities. So that's why I think I lean more towards Herring winning this fight. On points, yeah, definitely. But if anyone should win, happens to win by stoppage, that would be Stevenson, I believe. Yeah, definitely. Still, I doubt that happens, but it's possible. All right, so I back Jamel Herring to who is really a nice guy, by the way, I have to say, he strikes me simply, I'm not gonna say that Stevenson is not a nice guy, but he's shown some, some traits that I don't appreciate much, fighting with a woman, a girl, like, I didn't like that, but hopefully that was just one incident. Hopefully he can, now that he's expecting a child, he can learn and, become a better person. But then when it comes to the boxing, I think Jamel Herring simply he's a little bit too tall, he's a little bit too rangy, he's a little bit too experienced even for Stevenson, I believe. So unless he has aged since his last fight, which I doubt sincerely, unless he proves to be aged on the 23rd, then he should take this fight, win this fight. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye bye.